Mumbai, March 19th, 1987. Exactly 2:15 p.m. That lane near Opera House where thousands of people passed every day. It was home to one of Mumbai's most famous and oldest jewelry stores, Tribhuvandas Bhimji Zaveri, known to the world as TBZ. The shine of gold and diamonds inside that store was famous across the city. Big industrialists, film stars, politicians, officers, everyone was a customer of TBZ. This was not just a shop, it was Mumbai's pride. Pratap Zaveri was sitting in his shop as usual. Business was running normally. Customers were coming in, craftsmen were working, and outside, Mumbai's heat and rush were at their peak. Everything was completely normal, just like every other day. But what was about to happen that afternoon was something Pratap Zaveri had never imagined, not even in his dreams. Nobody had imagined it. Not the entire Mumbai police, not the whole of India. Suddenly, a large bus stopped outside the store. One by one, 28 people got down. White shirts, black pants, laminated IDs around their necks, official-looking files and sealed envelopes in their hands. Every face carried the seriousness of a government officer. They looked exactly like real CBI officers. Leading them was a man around 35 to 40 years old, confident, sharp-eyed, calm walk, neither too tall nor too short, neither too thin nor too heavy, a completely ordinary-looking man. But there was something about him that made him stand out, a strange fearlessness, a strange calmness. The moment he entered the shop, he showed his badge and said in a firm voice, "I am Mohan Singh from the Central Bureau of Investigation. This shop is now under official investigation." Pratap Zaveri was stunned. CBI? Here? Why? 1,000 questions rushed through his mind. But in front of a government officer, he did not dare question anything. Mohan Singh stepped forward with a search warrant. It had an official seal. The Ashoka emblem was printed on it. It looked completely genuine. Pratap Zaveri had no choice. He ordered the shutters to be closed. CCTV cameras were turned off. He even handed over his licensed revolver to Mohan Singh without hesitation. Customers were seated in one area. Staff members were gathered in one place. Strictly no phone calls were allowed. The investigation began. Mohan Singh's team worked with remarkable discipline. Jewelry was picked up one piece at a time, examined carefully, placed into poly bags, sealed with official-looking labels, and stamped. Everything was being done with extraordinary professionalism, as if these people had done this hundreds of times before. Cash from the counter was counted and packed into briefcases. Diamond rings, gold necklaces, bangles, Mangal sutras. Everything was being packed away neatly. Pratap Zaveri and his staff could only watch. What could they do? It was a CBI investigation. There was an official warrant. Resisting could mean serious trouble. After 45 minutes, Mohan Singh signaled to two men and said, "Take these briefcases and put them in the bus." Then he turned to the rest of the team and said, "You all stay here. Keep an eye on the shop. No one comes in, no one goes out. I'm going to supervise another raid nearby. I'll return soon." Mohan Singh got into the bus and left, and he never returned, at least not to TBZ. 1 hour passed. The 28 men stood there waiting. They believed their officer would return soon. They thought another raid would follow. They assumed this was all part of training. But Pratap Zaveri started feeling that something was wrong. Time kept passing. Mohan Singh did not return. His heart sank. Slowly, he picked up the phone and called the Mumbai police. When the real police arrived at TBZ, they were shocked. The 28 men were still standing there. They were still carrying out what they believed was an official operation. They still had no idea that they were not part of a real raid. They had unknowingly become part of one of India's biggest and smartest robberies. Mohan Singh, one name, one face, and crores worth of gold and cash, gone. This is the story of India's most brilliant and unsolved robbery. Even today, nobody knows the real identity of the man behind it. The police never caught him. The case still remains open in Mumbai police records. But to understand the story, we need to go back 2 days earlier, March 17th, 1987. Morning. Lakhs of readers across Mumbai were reading the Times of India. In the classified section, a small advertisement appeared. It read, 50 dynamic graduates required for positions of intelligence officers and security officers. Eligible candidates should report tomorrow at Taj Hotel, room number 415, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Hundreds of unemployed young men were instantly attracted. A government job opportunity and interviews at the Taj Mahal Palace. It sounded like a golden chance, but none of them knew who had placed that advertisement, or why, or the price they would pay. The next day, March 18th, a long line formed outside the Taj Hotel. Young men, some educated, some retired from police service, some simply desperate for better opportunities. Everyone had one hope, a job, but the hotel did not permit interviews on its premises, so the mysterious man made new arrangements. He rented an office in Middle Towers at Nariman Point. The office looked completely genuine. Clean tables, chairs, files, government symbols on the wall, a receptionist outside, and seated in the middle was the man calling himself Mohan Singh. He interviewed candidates seriously, asked detailed questions, checked police backgrounds, reviewed qualifications, asked about government procedures. He behaved exactly like a real recruitment officer. After hours of selection, he chose 28 candidates. Some were former police personnel, some were young graduates, some were men desperate enough to accept any opportunity. Then Mohan Singh said, "Congratulations, you are all selected. Tomorrow is your first field training. There will be a mock raid at TBZ Jewelry Store near Opera House. This is only a training exercise. This is how real CBI officers work. You only need to follow my instructions." He handed each of them fake government ID cards. They carried the Ashoka emblem, official numbers, and photographs. They looked absolutely real, perfect enough to fool anyone. Not a single person suspected anything. On the morning of March 19, all 28 selected men gathered near the Gateway of India. A bus arrived. Everyone got in. Inside the bus, Mohan Singh gave final instructions. Who would stand where? Who would handle cash? Who would watch the staff? Who would control the customers? Every detail was planned. Every role was assigned. Then the bus moved toward Opera House. What happened next, you already know. But now think about those 28 men. When the real police reached TBZ and told them the truth, the ground beneath their feet collapsed. They had come with hopes of getting jobs. Instead, they had unknowingly become part of a massive robbery. Some broke down in tears. Some screamed. Some stood frozen in shock. The police questioned them for hours. Statements were recorded. Background checks were done. Eventually, it became clear they were victims too, the biggest victims of Mohan Singh. Now the investigation began. The then DGP of Mumbai Police, Arvind Inamdar, personally took charge of the case. This had become one of the biggest and most shocking cases of that era. Police first investigated the Taj Mahal Palace. They discovered Mohan Singh had booked room number 415 on March 17th. Police searched the room. Nothing. Not a single fingerprint. Not a single clue. The room was spotless, as if no one had ever been there. Next, police investigated the rented office at Middle Towers. Again, nothing. Furniture had been rented. The office had already been vacated. Police then questioned the bus driver who had taken everyone to TBZ. He revealed something important. When the bus returned near the Taj Hotel, Mohan Singh got down. He called a bellboy and asked him to arrange a taxi. A taxi arrived. Mohan Singh loaded all the briefcases into it and left. Police tracked down the taxi driver. He said Mohan Singh asked to be dropped at a particular address. But before reaching there, he got off midway, then disappeared. Police chased every lead, interviewed every witness, investigated every possible clue, but no solid lead emerged. Police issued alerts across the country. Mohan Singh's description was sent to police stations nationwide. Newspapers published his sketch and details. Still, nothing. Rumors spread that Mohan Singh had escaped to United Arab Emirates. A police team was sent to Dubai. After weeks of investigation, nothing. They returned empty-handed. What investigators discovered next was even more shocking. The fake ID cards Mohan Singh gave to the 28 men were unbelievably perfect. Even forensic experts initially mistook them for genuine government IDs. The Ashoka emblem was an almost exact replica of official seals. Creating such documents required either access to government-level printing systems or highly sophisticated equipment. The search warrant shown to Pratap Zaveri was equally convincing. It carried court seals, judge signatures. Everything looked authentic. This raised a disturbing question. Where had all this come from? Did Mohan Singh have connections inside a government department? Was someone helping him from the inside? Those questions remain unanswered even today. Later, Arvind Inamdar said in an interview, his preparation was flawless. He knew exactly how a CBI raid works, every process, every document, every procedure. Either he was an insider or he learned from someone who was. And then he added, he left no trace. That is why he succeeded.
The investigation revealed even more shocking details. The fake ID cards Mohan Singh had given to the 28 men were so perfectly made that even police forensic experts initially believed they were genuine. The Ashoka emblem printed on them looked exactly like the official government seal. Creating such high-quality fake IDs required either access to government-level printing resources or extremely expensive printing equipment. The search warrant shown to Pratap Zaveri was equally convincing. It had court seals. It had a judge's signature. It looked completely real. This raised major questions. Where did all of this come from? Did Mohan Singh have connections inside a government department? Was someone helping him from within the system? These questions remain unanswered even today. Arvind Inamdar later said in an interview, his preparation was absolutely perfect. He knew exactly how a CBI raid worked, every process, every document, every step. He added, either he was someone from inside the system, or he had learned everything from someone who was. That was the frightening part. He left behind no trace, and that is exactly why he succeeded. Another disturbing aspect of the case was the patience and precision of Mohan Singh's planning. He never rushed. He placed the advertisement 2 days earlier, conducted interviews one day before rented an office, selected 28 people, issued fake ID cards, trained them, executed the robbery at the perfect moment, and then, without violence, without weapons, without creating panic, he escaped with crores worth of gold and cash. This wasn't just a robbery, it was a carefully written script. Mohan Singh was the writer, director, and lead actor of that script. Now comes the biggest question: who was Mohan Singh? Police later discovered that about 1 month before the TBZ robbery, a major bank robbery took place at Punjab National Bank in Ludhiana. Around 6 crore rupees were looted. Interestingly, a man named Mohan Singh was also linked to that robbery, but that robbery was very different. It involved weapons, threats, hostages. So police wondered, was this the same Mohan Singh? Could one man commit 2 completely different kinds of crimes, one violent, one purely intellectual? Police suspected it might be the same person, but there was never solid proof. Then in 1999, reports emerged that the Ludhiana robbery suspect Mohan Singh had died in an encounter. But whether he was the same Mohan Singh involved in the TBZ robbery remains unknown. The real identity of the TBZ Mohan Singh is still a mystery. Even though all 28 men saw him, their descriptions were inconsistent. One said he looked 35 years old. Another said 45. One said he had a mustache. Another said he didn't. It was as if he wasn't a person, but a shadow. That may be the most terrifying part of this case. The most horrifying thing isn't that he stole crores. The most horrifying thing is that he risked the lives of 28 innocent people. Those men left home hoping for jobs. Instead, they unknowingly became part of a criminal operation. Some faced police investigations for months. Some lost job opportunities. Some suffered social humiliation and family stress. Mohan Singh used their dreams as pawns in his game. In 2013, this story inspired the Bollywood film Special 26, starring Akshay Kumar. The movie made several changes. In the film, there were four main masterminds. A romantic angle was added, the ending was dramatic, but reality was colder. Reality has no ending, because Mohan Singh was never caught. More than 36 years have passed. The Tribhuvanda's Bhimji Zaveri store near Opera House still exists. Gold still shines there. Customers still visit. Pratap Zaveri is no longer alive, but the memories of that afternoon remain buried in those walls. In Mumbai police records, the case is still open, unsolved, incomplete, and one question still remains. Where is Mohan Singh today? Is he living a comfortable life somewhere? Did he create a new identity? Is he still in India? Does he ever return to Mumbai? Does he ever walk through that same lane near Opera House where he pulled off one of India's greatest robberies? We don't know. Perhaps we never will. But one thing is certain. This story has earned a permanent place in Indian criminal history. It proves one powerful truth. A sharp mind can change the world, but if that same mind chooses the wrong path, it can destroy society's trust. Mohan Singh never used weapons. He never physically harmed anyone. He never spilled blood. He used only one thing: trust. And through that trust, he robbed one of Mumbai's most famous jewelry stores, fooled the entire police system, and vanished without leaving a trace.